Hello everybody, welcome back to another YouTube video. I say it every time, yes, it's been a while. We've matched season 55 here and we've matched against Jwin in War 1. So we're going to begin with the team of Void, Negasonic, Teenage Warhead and Human Torch. Now, Void is tactic attacker, which means he's silly broken, and we all know I love Void anyway. Negasonic just completely destroys the skill class for the most part, especially in the Alliance War. And Human Torch is going to do one fight where he's going to just, even though it's a global defender, he's going to destroy it. So I'm going to walk you through quickly my fights here. So I have Path 1, Negasonic, this Killmonger. Then I have this Spiral here, which is the Human Torch and the pre-fight Flame On. Then we have Kindred with Void. Then we have Atuma with Negasonic. Then I have the first of 3 mini-bosses that I take this war. So we have Thing here. Then we have an Enchantress. Depending on how my boosts look, if I have enough time, I'll do that Punisher. But if my Invuln's running out, I'm going to go straight to this Mangog, because I'd rather make sure I have the Mangog with an invulnerability boost using Void. So Void's going to carry a lot of the weight, as you'd expect. I imagine him and Luke Cage, to be honest, this season, are probably going to be my main 2 hitters. And yeah, once we get to the Killmonger, I'll come back with a voiceover. So here we go. We're coming up to this Killmonger here on Path 1, which is very first node. So when they're close to you, they gain regens. After so many regens, they'll gain a big Fury. Apart from that, that's pretty much it for Path 1. See there, I use my last 30%, which means I've got to spend 1,000 units to get a bundle. Sad times. But yes. So very happy to be going into this season. We seem to be in quite a strong place in terms of a battleground, or battle group even. And also as an alliance, in terms of the players that we have right now. We seem quite strong, especially for Masters, which is the aim. For Loki, you don't really have too much rules for Alliance War. Just kind of play smart, review your fights ahead, even if the officers give you it. If you've got any questions, ask them. It's the same old really, just got to play ball. I'm going to try and do a few more war videos and stuff this season. Been a little bit difficult recently. People who have spoke to me before, real life stuff and whatever, know that I have a son who's just turned 1, so his timetable and now getting a little bit more used to his sleeping patterns and him actually going to bed and wanting to stay asleep at night, which helps. But we can start to get to grips with all the different things. So you can see here, Negasonic taking 0 reverb damage, as we all know. She's pretty strong for the skill class. And yeah, as long as you don't get hit, she's pretty safe. She's very squishy if you do get hit. Even through the block, she's quite squishy. You see here, he's on 9 charges, so I'm about to let him hit the 10th. And there we go, he dies already. So it wasn't a long fight. And we can move on to the next. So this one here, we have what we're going to put on, like I said in the brief intro before, about the pre-fight for Human Torch. So I dueled this a couple of times. Decided in the end to leave Dexterity on, in case my officer watches this. We did have a chat. He said turn it off if I thought I was going to trigger it, and I just decided to go with it on. I didn't see this rank 2 Spiral causing too much of an issue, but I just wanted to cover my own back with my questions that I asked them. And yeah, even put on an Invuln just to be extra safe, and you'll see there was absolutely 0 point. I just wasted an Invuln boost. So, gonna go into this fight. You see there, I always back out into the home screen to make sure all pre-fights are on. Don't parry on here. I don't want to put any debuffs onto her whatsoever. This is not a season to be running Resonate if you're going to be fighting this node. Other seasons were, but not this time. And you can see her health pool is just melting. Like, because of her combos and the way she hits into your block, your smolders just go nuts with Human Torch. So I was hoping she'd throw a special 1 without me dexing. She doesn't, so at this point I'm kind of thinking, I think I get stunned on the special 3. I can't throw a special 2, but she throws 1 anyway, so I'm like, well, result. As you can see there, easy fight, like 30 seconds. I decide to actually use the indestructible boost and do an extra light attack into her dancing blades, which was one of the most stupid things. If I was T Jarvis, That'd be a plus. I'd probably give myself like a +5 morons for that because I knew about it and still decided to do it anyway. Yeah, incredibly stupid. But that was Human Torch's last fight. There was no danger of me dying, so it's all good. Now we're going to go up against Kindred here with Void. Now, again, Void being the global attacker and Kindred being a global defender. Yes, so he's going to get these withers constantly, which is just extra damage for Void. Takes away all his degen damage, everything in between. Just don't dash back too many times in a row, and yeah, this fight is cakewalk. So dash back too many times there, gets the regen, but he's heal blocked. I'm not concerned in the slightest. He's stun immune again soon. Again, not really concerned in the slightest. Just want to make sure I have a special one ready to go when he roots me. And apart from that, we're pretty much golden in this fight. There's not really much Kindred can do. And for the most part, it's really weird with this Alliance War tactic. Obviously, the community voted for it. But I think they voted for it for ease. And then we had it for 2 seasons and everyone's like, oh, so sick of this by the time the 2nd season comes. But it's just a nice steady tactic. You can build your loyalty up with it as long as you play okay. And it's pretty good. So back to using Negasonic here. And she's just going to destroy this attunement. I was kind of umming and ahhing whether I wanted to put on a boost here. As you can see, I'm just kind of flipping and flapping about. But yeah, so I don't. It's all good. You can parry him with her, all fine. For the heavy, for the incinerate vulnerability, try and do it a little bit better than what I did in the Killmonger fight because I didn't get to refresh the incinerators from the special 2 in that fight. I bait a couple of special ones out from a tumor, I think, here. And then let him push him to a special 2, but in actual fact, I think he just froze 2 special 2s here. Just eat their first few hits because I was too close and didn't really care to trigger buffet. And then now we're going to go into this. See here, we've got the thing, so we can refresh the incinerates, but we didn't need to. She'd already killed them. And yeah, that's path fights technically done. So far 0 items used, which is quite nice. And we can move on to the mini bosses. Now, normally I like to run the Spider-Man relic on Void, as you can see, because fighting a lot of Mystic champions, it at least takes away one of the dexterities, especially if I haven't got Fear the Void or anything active yet. So it kind of still hurts Mystic dispersion slightly. Whereas in this fight in particular, I actually think it's a bit more of a nuisance to be running this, just because it affects the way that they gain power, and you're going to see between the attack tactic and the relic in the past. On this node, if you're immune to a buff, they gain power. So it gets a little bit sketchy at one point. Nothing too scary, but we do get a little bit sketchy. So thing here is the same as usual. If you can count to 15, you're probably safe. That's pretty much about the way it goes. With Void, you want to be throwing your special ones on 8 stacks or on 13 stacks. And you can see here, this is where the power gain is getting a little bit sketchy because he's still going to gain power. But the Withers do control that a little bit, which is quite nice. So yeah, you do it with 8 or 13 combo because with it being 2 hits, it then gives you 1 full 5 hit combo afterwards to push them up to another bar of power. Or you throw it at 13, you put them at 15, and then you just bait specials. And you have the choice either way at that point. So that's about the only time I ever do anything with Void in terms of throwing specials and stuff. You'll see here again, get to 13, throw it again. And once the Petrify comes up here, you're going to see his health just fly. Thing's quite aggressive as a defender for the most part. So you see here, the regens are going to stack. The more they stack, the better it is for me. Now, once Fear the Void's active, unfortunately, I just need a Petrify, and it comes up very quick. We get very lucky with the Petrify coming up so quickly, and Thing is just melting by this point. Normally you see like photons and stuff on this node, but yeah, Jwin decided to swap up the system a little bit and give me a Thing there. So now on to what I would call is probably the most boring defender of maybe the last 6 months. And for a lot of people, they don't like her. For me, I'm kind of bored of her now. I've fought her for like 2 seasons straight. And I fight her again. Yeah, fight her again in the next war too. So the main annoying mechanic of this defender here is that miss. Seems to always bite people, and her AI can sometimes be really annoying to intercept. For Alliance War, for me, she's probably one of the most safest defenders. If you're wanting to put on an invuln, you just push the special free, and the fight should be relatively easy. Damage over time champions are always a little bit more dangerous with her, because the absorbed damage reflection can hurt you a lot more than what a special free even eating without an invuln would. But if you're using someone like Luke Cage, for example, or something like that, yeah, the reflect damage isn't going to be too bad. And with this attack tactic, the reflect damage should be nothing anyway. Yeah, Decay is crazy. So we're just going to push it to special free anyway. And you can see she's just dropping. Fear the Void active now, so she's going to drop even quicker. I push it to the special free and was like, is she going to throw it? She's not going to bother throwing it. So I'm just going to finish it with combos. And yeah, 1 minute fight for a mini boss. Yeah, Void. Void is him. You see there, I just check how much I had on the Vimborn. If I was to fight the Punisher, I wouldn't have enough left to fight the Mangog. So I decided to just go straight in for the Mangog. A much bigger defender in terms of health pool, and potential scariness for special freeze. So I definitely want to make sure that I'm going into this with the invuln. I'm imagining I'm going to eat at least 1, maybe 2 special freeze in a standard kind of like void fight. You can potentially eat less if you bring like a Mr. Fantastic for the pre-fights and get a little bit more damage going off at the start. But you can just use void on his own. And you're going to see that here very, very easily. Now, I seem to have some weird thing with my void sometimes where defenders just don't seem to want to throw a special free. And you're going to see that happen again here. So just doing 4-hit combos just to not build his stacks up. Eating a few hits to the block. Aspect of Evolution hasn't really kicked in yet, so the block damage isn't really anything scary. To avoid that has like 150k health, I'm not too concerned. We get 1 Petrify there, which is great. It's going to slow his power gain down really nicely, which is good. You can see here. And we'll push him up to special free. Instantly hold block, and he's just like, oh, okay. I'll give you that. Let me just keep hitting into your block. So I'm going to take full advantage, and he goes for a heavy attack. So I'm like, okay, I'll punish you again. We're all good. And he goes in for it again. Yeah, this guy did not want to throw a special free at me, which was quite nice. So I only end up eating 1 of them, which you'll see here. And apart from that, this fight is a piece of cake. So, yeah, fortunately for us, we did end up winning this Alliance War. By the time I've recorded this, I've recorded this quite late. And yeah, hopefully I will see you in a video very soon. This one should be dropping out like Monday-ish time. I think the next one will be dropping for like late Tuesday. So thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Thank you all.